film begins in a desert where two men come to capture a special lizard. It was a big lizard. The man captures the big lizard after spreading a net there. The other man notices the danger zone written on the ground. This means that there is a danger here and human entry is forbidden there. Seeing this, he asks his companion to go from there. He hears a strange sound when he was bringing out the net he spread. As he moves forward to check, he sees a large trench there. He becomes shocked to see that why this trench is the middle of the desert. Later he sees that his companion emerges from the trench suddenly. He was quite terrified and asks for help. Before he could understand anything, a giant creature takes him after pulling him. He becomes afraid to see this and begins to go away from there on his bike. The problem was that bike didn't start. The creature also extended his large hand. He holds this man and pulls him towards the trench. Later we see two singers who were siblings and were singing in a club together. The boy's name was Kao, and after the performance, Kao tells his sister that whatever money we make from singing, with all of this effort, our senior keeps more than half share for himself. That's why I have stopped working for him now. While their conversation, the police of the drug prevention come. That starts by looking around the club to see if anyone is extorted. In the end, the singer accuses Kao of being the only one who has taken the drug. Although Kao convinces them that nothing is like this, I never used drugs. Police, however, don't trust him, and after thinking a little, he takes him. He begins to suspect his senior with whom he stopped working. Kao has been freed on bail. While they were conversing, Kao's sister received a call from her mother, telling her about her grandfather's death. As soon as they hear this, they head to their village to meet their dead grandfather. Kao starts to think about his childhood when his grandfather was teaching him to extract water after digging to end up the scarcity of water for the villagers. After a while, they reach their home and meet their family. Here a girl named Fawn comes, who was a childhood friend of Kao. She has become a famous YouTuber and she uploads video on YouTube. Kao tries to talk to Fawn, but she was angry with him and was not talking with him properly because Kao has returned to his village after 10 years. During this time, he hasn't kept any contact with his friend. Now the scene shifts to Kao and Fawn's childhood, where we see Fawn's dad was gifting these lizards to Kao's grandpa because they consider being precious. These lizards were caught by Fawn, but Kao releases them by saying we should not cage anyone like this. Fawn likes his word, although they had become friends. Later we come to the present where we see these two men again. Here we see at the start of the movie that they were caught in the cave by a creature. Meanwhile, a creature comes there whose size was giant, and it seemed quite dangerous. In a while, it kills both of these men. Kao begins to watch his friend's YouTube videos. Fawn arranges a competition for the celebration of her 8 million followers. She says if someone extracts water after digging her village ground, he'll win and he'll be rewarded with a big amount of money. Kao tells his sister about this. She says very well, we should also participate in this competition. He agrees and later on they join another boy, Kao's friend too, in their group. Later they go to the place where Fawn has arranged this competition. There were many people who had already participated in this competition. All the groups were given a map and a flare gun. They use flare guns then they have become successful in extracting water. During this time, a rich man comes there who has its own business of underground digging. He approaches Fawn so that he could participate in the competition, but he begins to misbehave with her. Later, Kao comes there and stops him. Later, Fawn starts the competition after firing the flare gun. Everyone goes to different places for digging in the ground to find water. Two men discovers the bike of two men whom we saw at the film's start, who were the victim of this creature, and when they take their bike and move on, later the creature tears up the ground and runs at the speed of their bike. and begins to chase them, which makes them afraid. They rotate their bike to save their life. That was a clever creature which makes a big trench on their way. As a result, they fell into that trench. On the other side, Cow and his companions were moving forward to find water. Later, they see few plates on the ground that was placed upside down, on which magical words have been written. Seeing this, Cow's sister asks why these plates have been placed in this way. On he said this is an old traditional way of finding water. If there will be water in the ground, it will be collected in the plate, and we dislocate the plate, and during their conversation another group comes who was digging nearby, and men tell Cow's group members he believes that a giant monster lives here. That is quite dangerous, and in order to escape from it, these plates have been placed here and magical words have been written. Cow doesn't believe his words. Later they move on and it becomes evening. Cow finds an old map of its grandpa in the car, on which his grandfather has made a mark near the mountain. When he matches the map with the map he was given by Fawn, he sees that there is no such mark on that map. After seeing this, three of them understand that they could get water from this mountain. They decided to go there the next day, and the rest of the people were going from there because they didn't find anything. But three people decide to spend the night there. When one of them goes to the village, the creature comes to him while flying. It separates his head from his body. That falls on his friend, and after seeing this, they become shocked. They become quite afraid and run from there to save their lives. Meanwhile, the giant creature comes in front of them. Later, we learn that this giant creature is no one but a very big lizard, whose size has become so large that it makes them prey after killing both of these men. The next morning, when Fawn learns about the missing news of these three men, she becomes concerned and decides to stop this competition. Later, Fawn's manager calls the rich man and tells him, three men have been missing, so Fawn decided to end up this competition. Hearing this, the rich man becomes very angry. He claims that if the competition ends, it will be worse. Even know the ending, and the manager, he tries to convince Fawn and says, look, this is bad and we have started the competition and now we are ending it. It isn't a good thing, so we shouldn't end this competition. If we talk about these three missing people, they might have gone back. Maybe someone else had caught him, so we should start this competition after ignoring this all. Although Fawn doesn't want to do this, she continues her competition on the request of her manager. Cow and his companions come to a place on the map where they find a cave. After going inside it, they find a wet wall. Seeing this, Cow thinks, I think there'll be water inside. That's why we should break this wall. This place is actually the house of that lizard. It comes there and holds Cow's friend in his mouth. Seeing this, both siblings become afraid. They come out of the cave after saving their life. Later they began to tell the others about this creature, but no one believes them. Later the creature comes while tearing the ground and attacks a man and holds his half body from the ground. Later it takes him after pulling him. After seeing it, they all become shocked and they began to trust Cow's word. They began to run from there to save their lives. Cow's sister and the rich man managed to hide in a truck. But the manager couldn't go inside and he stays outside. The creature comes there and attacks him and kills him in a single attack. Now the creature starts chasing Cow and Fawn. They try to escape from it and the creature also runs fast. Later they fell into the trench while running. Seeing this, Cow's sister blows the truck's horn to save her brother's life. When the creature comes there, Cow's sister and the rich man hide under the truck. As a result, the creature comes there but couldn't see them and goes from there silently. There, Cow and Fawn learn soon that they have fallen nowhere but into the creature's cave. As they move ahead, they see many of the creature's eggs. They see Cow's friend who wasn't dead but alive. The creature has imprisoned him in a strong cover. They try to take him out from there. However, they were unable to remove him because they failed to break the strong cave. They see many people who were caved in similar covers. Actually, that creature has kept them to feed his children. On the other side, when Cow's sister comes out of the truck, she sees that the creature was sleeping on the truck. She moves silently without any noise and sits in the car of the rich boy. Later, the rich boy comes out of his car and begins to move around the car. Meanwhile, the sound was produced by him and the creature awakes and instantly attacks him and takes him to his cave and locks him in the same cave. Cow and Fawn again reach near the same wall. After checking it, Fawn says there is water on the opposite side of the wall. Because this is a lizard creature, it did not like water. So that creature made this wall to save from water. Later they come out of the cave where they see a few people. They approach them, but meanwhile the creature arrives at a rapid speed. And in a blink of an eye, the creature makes them its prey and kills them. The creature also sees Fawn and takes her with him. Later, Cow fires the flare gun, and after seeing it, only one group approaches them. It was the same man who told her about the creature and the plates. Later, Cow's sister arrives there after a while. They made a plan and later begins to play loud songs. On hearing this sound, the creature comes after tearing the ground and begins to roar at everyone. Seeing this, they began to surround it and attack the creature. That creature returned to its cave. Cow's sister goes to that cave with her friends. She brings all the caged people in the cover with their help, but the rich boy was missing from the cave. And Fawn goes to find him. The rich man had brought a bomb with him. They placed it on the wet wall. Later, while taking his remote, Cow goes to that cave with Fawn. There, Fawn finds the rich boy. But the creature comes in front of them when they were going back. The rich man runs alone to save his life while leaving Fawn. Cow comes there before the creature could attack her. After jumping on the creature, he comes on the creature and attacks it with an axe. The creature remains harmless because it was quite powerful. Later, the creature holds Fawn with its tail and grabs her. The creature was about to kill her. Meanwhile, Cow fires the flare gun and puts it in his mouth. As a result, the creature hallucinates and the creature's attention diverts. They run. After coming ahead, Cow hits the bomb by pressing the button. As a result, the bomb explodes there and the wall breaks. As this happens, water begins to spread everywhere. The flow of water was quite fast and the creature also flows with it and was killed. Water was also coming after Cow and Fawn rapidly, but they came out of the cave at the exact time. Later, Cow's sister and his friend also come. Meanwhile, water began to emerge rapidly from the ground. Seeing this, they become happy. Later, we see the rich boy comes out of the trench who was still alive. He had the creature's egg in his hand and was laughing after seeing it. Seeing an egg means the creature has not been eradicated because its egg are still present, which means many lizard creatures will be hatching from it. The movie ends with this.